We are back to the warehouse for Blitzball Battle 5. Del Caribe gets no hit again, among other things. Let's talk Blitzball. Welcome to the Blitzball Boys, the podcast about Blitzball and boys, but lately about Blitzball. I'm your co-host, Brendan Ruppel. Along with my fellow host, Rain.
Hey, Brendan. It's a setup.
It's set up.
We see our first casualty of the warehouse,
Ooh,
and it was not pretty to watch.
no.
It was, dare I say, not fun to watch.
It wasn't fun to watch because we
Um,
like these guys that got knocked out. It was a tough way to see them go. We were moping around before the episode started.
well, that, and it's kind of like, I don't know, they were the only non-competitive team in the entire tournament.
Yeah, and it's kind of what we thought going into the tournament, but we had hopes that some things would change, and
Right.
arguably some of those things got worse. Maybe all the things got worse. I don't know. It
It's
was
like a high school basketball tournament, and one of the teams is like sixth graders.
yeah, yeah.
Kind of brutal.
It was not fun. We had hopes going into this game that it would be a game because both teams were struggling, and it was just not the case at all.
Not a game.
Not
Not a game.
Not a game.
Burn it, Brendan, so that we could just get into
Let's do it.
sad talk radio.
Say talk, boys. Well, it's the bottom of the shit barrel as Del Caribe tries to send Dan Canobio into retirement. Both Drew and Lou look solid on the mound, and just like my freshman year, we're scoreless after one. Unfortunately, I no longer believe in Joseph Fly. He allows the only runs of the game without getting an out. Then Dan Canobio ends the game with force. Del Caribe gets no hit for the second time this tournament and earns the first skunk patch in warehouse history.
Brutal.
Brutal.
I guess like really there's no real talking points about this game. Lou started the game, kept Hookline scoreless, only allowing one hit and one walk, getting two strikeouts, and then a little tapper to himself to end the inning. And then Drew got back into form, walking Lou right away, but then getting three straight strikeouts to end it.
Which I say maybe
turning
this
this-
was a problem for Del Caribe because if you needed anything, you needed Drew to continue struggling so that you had some sort of a
Right.
chance.
Well, for sure. I mean, everything was a problem for Del Caribe, if we're
Yeah.
being honest.
What is one of the many to come?
So like then you come into the second inning where Joe's is pitching and he lets Drew get into the swing of things. Oh, pun. He lets Drew get into the swing of things by getting hits. Drew had fucking 5 at bats, 4 doubles and a walk.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So Joe's was doing that thing where he can't find the strike zone when he tries to throw like at the speed he wants to throw at, and he's got to
Right.
slow it down, and then it becomes a big cookie. Even if it's not really in the zone, it's slow
Right.
enough where you can kind of reach out and hit it pretty hard.
Yep. Not fun. Not fun to watch. Fun
Not
to
fun.
see if you like Drew and Dan, and you like seeing Drew succeed, which we do famously.
Yeah.
Pretty fun there, but like I don't know.
But didn't
It's
feel like even that earned because
right.
I mean the whole first inning was scoreless. They didn't really hit
Right.
off of Lou,
Um,
and like sure, like you could say that inning's a wash, but you know what happens after Lou pitches 3 outs.
Yeah.
Joe's got to pitch at some point, and I mean it was more like Del Caribe lost the game than Hookline won because
Right.
you better beat Joe's.
I mean, Joe's started off, he threw 5 balls in a row. Then he threw 3 more, and then Dan swung at a ball that was like not even going to get to be a strike.
Yeah.
And then he ends up walking somebody else. So he really throws like 11 balls in a row before like really getting a decent pitch in there.
Yeah. He threw a couple decent curveballs, and then I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Just keep throwing that curveball, and then eventually I think there was one that might have dropped into the top of the strike zone, and Drew just tanked it. Like, okay,
Right.
they're gonna start seeing this one too. Like it does. It's not
Right.
like you can just keep throwing up loopy curveballs, and they're gonna keep tricking them. You got to have more than just that. So nothing that he had on the mound, Joe's was gonna.
So the question that I have for you, if you're Del Caribe, do you start Joe's this in? Would you have brought Lou in earlier on? Like, I think it's right to start Joe's, but after he threw a 5-ball walk, like a 5-pitch walk, first at bat, I would have like said, bring Lou in there to like get just one out, put a little bit of pressure on the guys because we've seen Dan and Drew behave so differently when they
behave.
have just a little bit of pressure on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they're just up there being like, "Hey, we have 3 outs to play with. Let's just fuck around."
Right.
You have Dan like refusing to swing, and you have Drew like just being super aggressive. Like we've seen this. I love Drew, but we've seen him get in his head so many times, especially when there's
Yeah.
2 outs on him. Like I almost feel like Lou should have come in to like put that pressure. Yeah, he gets 1 out right away, good, but it puts pressure on Hookline when Joe's is pitching, and maybe he would have helped him out a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, I think they mentioned that in the booth a little bit, like after Joe's had already gotten tagged a little bit. Sure, like that would have been great, but Lou's not a definite out either.
Right.
So, but say yeah, sure, he gets the out. Joe's didn't get any anyway. I mean, maybe I guess there was that one that Ryan missed. I think they're a little bit harder on him than they should have been with that ball. We haven't really seen a lot of straight up warehouse pop ups to Ryan yet,
Right.
and that one wasn't hit like crazy hard, but it was hit hard. Sure, it was right at him, but sometimes those are the hardest ones to catch. I would say it was a bad play, but I wouldn't say like, oh man, how'd you miss that, bro? Tough one,
I mean,
but I think
there were
you
more
make it
issues
5 out of
than
10
just that,
times. You
you
know?
know?
Oh yeah, exactly. But I'm saying that you're right though. If Lou gets an out, then Joe's gets that pop up out. Now the guys are scared and like nervous to get out by Joe's, but the game still would be tied 0-0. So like there's not that much pressure. I think there's more pressure if Del Caribe already had the lead at that point.
Right.
You know?
Right. Like I'm just watching the Ryan play again.
Yeah. But
Where
then
he,
that leads into another problem though. They didn't have the lead, and that's due to like we're talking so much about Joe's. That's Lou's thing. This is the second time
Yeah.
they've gotten no hit. Lou hasn't really shown up in this tournament either. Like he's thrown the ball really well, but he's known for the bat, and it just never came this tournament.
Right. Like this Ryan play, I feel like you can't blame on him. It comes off
Yeah.
the ceiling so fast.
Yeah, it does.
And Ryan starts with his hands here and quickly realizes, fuck, this ball's going over my head.
Yeah.
So he has to get up quickly and,
Yeah, those balls are really hard to catch because also that ceiling is so dark that you don't see the ball until it's halfway down from the ceiling already.
Right.
Which is, I guess, why the reaction was slow.
I mean, like you said, the issue wasn't Joe's per se. I mean, yes, it would have been nice if Joe's doesn't get maxed out. It also would be nice if Joe's like could do something at the plate, because look at Joe's 11 plate appearance, 11 at bats, no walks in the whole tournament,
Wow.
and 1 hit. No walks and 1 hit. I think this is the first time we have ever seen somebody, at least since we've been doing this pod, who has had under a 100 batting average.
And it's not like we
know?
haven't seen
Under
pitchers be
200
wild.
OPS.
Like, we've seen pitchers still. I know it's Blitzball Battle 5, and we've gotten all pretty good at this point, but we've seen some wild at bats with some pitchers. So I think that shows more that Joe's has been chasing more than he ever has.
Oh yeah.
And he's just been giving non-competitive at bats.
Oh yeah. I mean, Lou also, you want to talk about like Del Caribe doesn't work unless Lou is firing, and Lou got on base 5 out of his 9 at bats, which is, fine. But that's a double, a home run, 3 walks. You can't be getting more walks than hits and like expect to succeed in this tournament.
Especially when the other guy is basically an out.
Especially when you're Lou fucking Dab, right? Like what were they talking about? Last tournament he hit like 700, and now he's batting 222.
It was kind of also sad, like to keep piling on to this, when Peter Moreland tries to hype him up via Kelsey. It's like, doesn't he know he's Lou fucking Dab? And then you see like the smile come to Lou's face. He's like, yeah, I am. He gets up there and
then Drew makes an unbelievable play.
It just,
like
the winds come right out of their sails. It is.
I even wrote it.
Gut punch.
I wrote it in my my notes. I said like, fucking Lou's pumped up. First pitch, Dan bounces it. So you got to be feeling confident if you're Lou there. And then he like rips one off the side wall that looks like it's going to land and get Del Caribe going. Excuse me. And then Drew fucking dives. And catches it in his chest. Somehow he dives and catches it really close to him and makes the play. And that's the moment the game ended to me.
Yeah.
because Joe's has no confidence. He's feeling so low after that pitching performance.
It's such a rally killer.
Strikes out, and then Dan strikes Lou out. He got 2 strikes before anything, and then it's just like time to toy with Lou. And I think it was just 2 pitches later, he strikes him out, and Del Caribe gets skunked, losing 5-0. Second time they got no hit in the tournament, which is stupid.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
You could have easily shut off the game once Del Caribe went down 5-0. You knew how it was going to come. Like, Hookline Sinkers just got the first 3 outs with their lesser of the 2 pitchers this tournament. Dan Canobio, he hasn't let up a run yet, has he?
Slam Canobio?
I don't think he has. I mean,
that's what you're talking about?
Yeah, he's
not
going to give his first run up against Del Caribe.
Yeah,
he has all the outs available to him. So
9 outs recorded, 54 pitches, no earned runs. Kind of nuts.
Nothing.
Colin Stone numbers.
Yeah. So I think less innings wise. This is like maybe a Blake Snell versus a Zach Wheeler type of thing we're looking at.
Sure, but like I don't know, man. Like, to the listeners, I'm very sorry about our demeanor right now. This was, I'll be completely candid with you. This was not a fun game to watch. You don't want, like, it's a bit of a rant, but it's like you don't want non-competitive games. What we want to watch is these guys. You go into it being like, I think this one team is going to win, but I think anything might happen. Mm-hmm. We went into this game fully expecting 100% Del Caribe is losing this game. Even if Lou starts to put it together, Dan is too good on the mound. Drew is decent enough to like walk Lou and then get Joe's every time. Like, in the postgame, Joe's was talking about, it was my fault that we don't have a banner in this warehouse. First, you and I were talking about this before. Yep. That's bullshit. Joe's is an incredible bowler and ball in play and a very good goalie.
He got much better this season, too.
Floorball. Very good goalie.
Yep.
Like, he's great there. The only place where Joe's doesn't really fit is in a blitzball capacity. And it really sucks to see because we talk about this all the time. Joe's is one of our absolute favorite personalities in John Boy Media.
Yeah, if not the favorite.
I wish him nothing but success.
Yeah.
I want to turn this game on, and I want to see like, I don't want to continue to act like, Del Caribe is going to lose unless it's baggage. Del Caribe is going to lose unless it's baggage. I don't want to fucking think that way anymore.
Yeah.
I want to watch this game and like genuinely be enthused about it and not just be like, well, might as well just watch it to finish this. I know what's going to happen though.
It's tough because you don't want there just to be a replacement for these 2 players because we love both of them. We think they're so good on camera. Just the skill set, I think, is no longer, at least for Joe's especially. I know Lou can figure it out of the plate if he has to, but I think Joe's is like almost ready to be put out the pasture as far as this sport goes. But we just don't want that because we love him so much.
Yeah. I love Joe's. I love Joe's and I love Lou. They are 2 of my absolute favorite characters in the warehouse. I love Del Caribe.
It's best buddy duo too. You don't want to break up the best buddy duo either.
It's like we were saying before. Maybe you move Joe's to like a commissioner kind of role. I can't remember if that was on pod or off pod, or if you move him to. Okay, so I was saying off pod. I don't know if the solution is to move Joe's to like a coach role where it's like that would be very funny. There are no other coaches.
Right.
Joe's could like really buy into this character and do it.
As long as you get him the camera time still.
Or like full-time commissioner of the league, Joe's McFly. Like something needs to change.
If Joe's the coach, then we get our coaching role we've always been talking about with Hookline Sinkers
with
again.
Hookline. But like, I don't know, man. I want Joe's to succeed so badly, and I don't know how he can
it
like.
Sucks even harder because when you watch those post-game interviews, you know how hard he's trying. You know, he's not just showing up like Plouffe and just doing his thing. He is working, and you see it. He's having a tough time.
It's so different, right? Like you can compare Joe's to Zoe, right? Zoe's first turn, one of the better guys in the warehouse. Whereas Joe's in his, Joe's, I don't know his exact age, but I know he's mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
You're comparing mid to late 30s to 22 years old. One of them is a lot more moldable and a lot more like adaptable than the other.
Right.
I'm not saying Joe's isn't adaptable, but it's like you can only improve so much when you're almost 40. You know, like you got to think Joe's may have just reached his ceiling. Like, does Joe, what can he do? What can he do now? I mean, Peter Moylan was talking about it a little bit in his delivery where, oh, you see if Joe's foot is pointed towards the plate, it has a chance. If it's not pointed towards the plate, it's not going to be a strike. If it's pointed towards the plate, it has a chance. Like, sure, you could work on that. But at the same time, Joe's has like effectively 2 full-time jobs and children.
Right.
You know,
right.
he's not like working on, he doesn't have the ability to work on this like other people.
And I think it's
I
also
want him
the
to
arm,
so
too.
badly.
It's like not so. Sure, it's like the delivery, but I think it's on top of that the arm strength of an aging guy. It's tough. Like you
Right.
see, there was a pitch where I think his arm hurt him, and I've been there where you feel it click, and it's like, oh, that shouldn't make that noise.
Right.
And I saw him grab it, and like, this is an old guy trying to compete with Drew Davis,
Right.
and it's just not all the way fair, even.
Man, like, I hate being a downer on this because we do watch this. We do genuinely enjoy this. We love this.
Yeah.
It brings us happiness to see these games, to talk about them, to have these videos put out there and these podcasts put out there for you guys to listen to. But like, it's kind of like a blessing and a curse to like have gotten to know the warehouse guys now, right? Because previous to us doing this, we didn't know Joe's, we didn't know Lou. We could talk as much shit as we want because we're like, that
Right, we'll
you know,
never even see these
talk
guys in
shit
real
from a
life.
distance.
Yeah.
But now, like, we've spoken to both of these guys. We like them so much, and it's just like, it's like the frustration that you have with a friend who you see not reaching their full potential.
Right.
Because, like,
You know how much
Lou
fun he
had an
has there, too.
absolute. We know how much fun they have. Lou had an absolute fucking stinker of a tournament. He'll be the first to admit it.
Yeah.
Joe's had a stinker of a tournament. He's, in my opinion, too down on himself about it. He should be down on himself for sure. But like, this guy's talking about how everything is his fault. Okay, Joe's, like, it's not all your fault, but like, you do need to get better. I hate talking like this because I do feel like we have a relationship with them, and it's hard for me to talk like this about people who I have a relationship with. On the flip side, now I feel bad because we're not giving Dan and Drew the flowers that they deserve.
I don't know if they even deserve that many flowers because, like I said earlier, like
I think Drew absolutely does. Drew had to really pick it up and get back into the swing of things
sure.
at the plate and on the mound. It seems like he found a proper
the mound,
arm angle
I'll
now.
give him the mound.
You know,
I don't know. If
so
I'm
like,
gonna
I'm
give him
happy
the
for
at-bats.
Drew. He got 4 doubles off of 5 at bats. You know,
Yeah, who are 3 of them off of though?
you shut your mouth.
I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
prove to me
matter.
Let me see you do it against Rotten.
Well, we might. We probably will.
We might.
You know, like, it makes me
I
so
think it's fair.
sad. I'm
It
sorry,
feels
Drew.
Like,
I'm
it feels
sorry,
like we're
Dan.
saying goodbye to someone in the, at least in these games in Blitzball Battle. I don't know if they'll come back because I think the people that put on these tournaments know that this is content first, and they must know that that's not good content. What was put out there yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's more likely than with anybody else that it's Joe's that puts that out there. Unfortunately, he doesn't want to put. He's a content creator. He doesn't want to put that game out there.
I know. It's I don't know. I think this is the
I
first.
think there's an interesting decision that they have to come to for next season.
Yeah. This is the first Blitzball Battle game that has like made me genuinely upset.
Yeah. And we could have been talking about this with Baggage too. If Baggage had another stinker, we're lucky that they figured it out. We could have been talking about them retiring.
I just like, it drives me crazy. Like, no disrespect to Lou and Joe's. It drives me crazy that there are 8 teams here and only 7 of them feel competitive in Blitzball, which you have twice a year, right? So twice a season, you have a Blitzball battle. You have this one team that has never showed any potential outside half of their players, but the other half has been an absolute stink show the entire time. Mm-hmm. How can I, as a fan, and listen, this is going to sound harsh, but I'm going to talk straight to Jimmy right now.
Or me now.
How am I, as a fan, expected to watch this like Del Caribe team and support this Del Caribe team, knowing that they're probably never going to win the Warehouse Cup?
Right, because
I guess if they're good, the goal
is you want people to latch on to individual teams.
If they're good in ball and play, which we know they're very good at. 2 tournaments ago, they probably should have been in the final, they probably should have won the final, if not for the most incredible display of defense we've ever seen Last year they were good. They were really good too. They just didn't everybody else got good essentially. And then in floorball you have Lou, who doesn't really play hockey. Joe's, who's like figuring it out behind the
Mostly just
or
trying to
at
be a
the
body
net.
back there.
Okay, fine. What's going to happen if you win, or if you even like do well, get to the semifinals in the other two tournaments, and then come dead fucking last in Blitzball battle? We're never going to watch them succeed because of this. And something needs to be changed about that. I don't know what it is.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, I don't know if it's the exact way they're going to go about it, but you need to find a way to keep Joe's included in this content without him playing.
I feel really bad, and I hate that I care this much about it. Because I want, like, I say this whole thing about how the fuck am I supposed to care about Del Caribe when, like, I do, and I don't want a changed Del Caribe. I don't want it to be like, oh, well, guess what? Lou's new fucking partner is this guy, Alex Rodriguez. We don't know who he is, but, like, we got this guy here to play for them. Like, cool, whatever.
Well,
I don't want them.
Because he's a main character.
I want Joe's and I want Lou.
They're both.
I
want
them
brand.
to succeed.
Right.
I don't want like a new team.
I
want those two to succeed, and that's what fucking kills me the most about this whole thing.
Yeah.
And this has turned into a celebration of Hookline into us just fucking laying
I
into
don't think
Del Caribe.
they care so much because all Hookline did was just play themselves into the playoffs. They didn't like win anything big.
I know.
It's fine.
Dude.
It's fine.
I'm just so upset about it.
It's one of those franchises that doesn't have an open space where there's a rotating door. These are the only guys that could really play on a 2-person team for Del Caribe.
Yeah, I'm acting like my team just got knocked out of like the MLB playoffs. That's how it feels right now.
Yeah, well, Joe's an all-time character, and without Joe's, you don't. So
is Lou.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Lou
you can't have
fantastic.
one without the other in this tournament.
The both of them bring so much like personality.
Right.
Like, I don't want to throw shade to Dan Canobio.
All the way back to the swing the fucking
now.
bat, though. I mean, that's like some good spice.
Like, I don't want to throw shade at Dan Canobio right now, right? But, like, Lou and Joe's has more personality in a blitzball battle perspective than Dan does in his fucking pink. Or, I'm sorry, Lou has more in his pinky than Dan does in his whole body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm, like, getting flustered because I'm, like, I'm really upset about this. I was rolling with you, and I don't want to
corrected it, so like, oh, yeah, I guess he did say it backwards.
I don't, like... I don't mean to throw shade at Dan, but these two guys, like, if they were good, they'd be the best fucking heels in the tournament. Yeah. Because Forgotten Rotten, you could say, oh, they're really good heels. Only half of them are. Shelfie is, I've gone public with this and said Shelfie is like my favorite guy in the warehouse right now. He's so entertaining. Like,
right, because he's had success too. Like Lou would be able to have those moments if he was having success, and he could grab his crotch at you and make you feel small. Yeah. And then Joe's will have his big Joe's roars that we love. We've only really seen them in ball and play.
I feel so bad that I'm getting so heated.
That's what podcasting's all about, baby.
I know, but it's just like, but it's back to like.
This is gonna be an easy episode. Like, you really, I'm glad you had some juice for this one.
The more we kept talking about it, the more I'm like, yeah, what the fuck, guy? Like, it's like it'd be like if we were talking, right, you and me, and I know, like, oh, Brendan, you're you were a good baseball player, and I came to one of your games and you walked 4 guys in a row. I'd be so fucking upset with you. Just because it's Brendan, I know you could be better.
I guess you didn't come to the game because that did happen one time. That was the last pitch I ever threw for a New Paltz College baseball.
I didn't go to that game. You never told us when your games were or where they were.
I think because I knew my arm was going to fall off immediately. Like, it could happen any second.
When we were in college, Brendan was on the New Paltz Club baseball team, and we lived in the same suite. And I tried to steal his jersey and put it on as much as I possibly could.
Pretend to take naps in it.
I'd take naps in it. It would be, I'd fall asleep all the time. Sleep apnea, baby. All right, let's finally give Hookline their flowers with our player of the game.
Player of the game. My player of the game is the obvious choice. It's Drew Davis.
Whoa.
I was kind of incidentally shit-talking him earlier by saying he didn't... He didn't deserve the win. They deserved to beat Del Caribe. He pitched well. He pitched well. I know he also technically did hit well, but all of his hits were
Don't do that. During play of the game.
Doubles against Joe's.
During player of the game. Come on.
It's that kind of episode. all I can say is that I really hope that his swings in the second inning get him started. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I know that there's a lot tougher pitchers incoming if they want to make it back to the finals. You hope this is like the batting practice that helps you find like the right click. On the pitching side, he found an arm angle. He went through trials and turbulence, yeah, like airplanes. Turbulence. And it was amazing that he was able to make these adjustments in the middle of an inning, because if I was in that warehouse and everyone's watching me and it's getting silent because they feel uncomfortable for you, that would make me way more uncomfortable and probably throw worse pitches. And somehow Drew got calm and figured it out. He saw that he's like, all right, the sidearm's not finding the right release point right now. I'm going to go over the top, throw strikes. And then that somehow unlocked the other arm slot.
What a mean episode.
Good for him. I'm complimenting him right now. I'm in the middle of complimenting him.
Yeah, you were talking shit about him mid-compliment.
All they do is beat Del Caribe. They beat two old guys, all right?
That's all they did.
So
Drew had to do a lot.
He did. Good for him.
4 doubles against anybody is a good thing. Look at how many times we've seen in this tournament. They could have been home runs, but how many times in this tournament? What wins games? Doubles wins games. Extra base hits wins games. Other teams have played Del Caribe. No other teams have gotten 5 doubles against them. Well, time to fact check. So, nope, that's
let's see
true
total
for 1
bases
part
against them.
And true for 2 part.
Okay.
True total bases.
Jimmy
got 7 total bases, and Forgotten Rotten got 6.
Oh. Okay.
Drew alone got 8.
All right, I take it all back.
Take it all back.
Drew's now the best player in the warehouse.
Drew's the best in the West.
Well, you know what? Here's another good spin on it. I was saying earlier in the tournament how he's struggling adjusting to the slower pitching, and if anything, Joe's really helped him with that. So let's see where this takes him.
Drew, you did better than Brendan makes you sound. I think you did a great job. I thought it was a no-brainer player of the game for Drew.
Impressed me when you get hit a home run off Trev.
Stop that. Drew doesn't hit home runs. Drew hits 5 doubles. That's it. Drew had a great job on the mound.
He did.
He came back. I think that's what's most important.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
What's most important here is that Hookline now has become a 2-pitcher team again.
They're back to what they
because Drew has figured it out.
Championship last time.
But we're not going to talk about pitching or batting for our play of the game.
Play the game.
What's that noise, Brendan?
It's a duck of the game.
It's a duck of the game, baby. Drew's diving catch in the bottom of the second to kill any type of morale that Del Caribe had. I talked about it a little bit before. When Lou got up after Peter Moreland fucking psyched him up via Kelsey, and Dan bounced the first pitch, and you could see Joe's and Lou starting to get a little bit of energy
all right,
back.
Just gotta, chip away, just get runners on.
Drew makes this amazing play to get the first out. Ball's hit off the side wall. Seems like it's just fucking missile seeking the ground. He gets in the way, gets the grab, gets that first out. Morale killed. Del Caribe out. Skunk
out of their sails.
No hit again.
Tough. The first at bat.
Very tough. Good job, Drew, for killing Del Caribe.
That play was only against Del Caribe, though, so it wasn't that good.
You're getting wedgied next time I see you. So here's the thing, right? That's our player of the game. That's our play of the game. We talked about this all the time. I have one big note that we have not talked about yet.
Uh-oh.
Is this tournament going to be remembered for Lou Dab not showing up and effectively making it a 7-team tournament? What do you think?
No, but maybe this
we
is
talked
exactly
about Joe's
why,
a lot.
This might be exactly why they had this set up, because at least now you can cut bait from the worst team and start over with a fresh playoff bracket.
Rude boy.
So I think this will all be forgotten.
Rotten. Oh shit!
We fucking nailed that. We
nailed
scripted that. We've been working on that for hours before we started this podcast.
We've been working on it. Everybody
Holy
here
shit.
laugh. Everyone laugh. Everybody laugh.
of our robot friends laugh.
All of our robot friends laugh. Okay, Brandon. Play whatever sound we have for our what to watch for.
Let's see. Let's go over it and scroll.
Brew, let me love you.
No. How about
Play it.
Oh, I got one. It's a very irritating noise.
It's the same noise as the fucking.
Mine's higher pitched and more annoying.
It is higher pitched and more annoying. You got me. McFlurry Power versus We Got Ice. We got another potential skunk game.
Let's also make this quick because I only have 7 minutes left in this mixer. I didn't clear room.
That's fine. This is going to be like 2 minutes.
Okay.
You got first dibs, Brendy. What are you watching for in this game? Skunk. Potential skunk.
Potential skunk for We Got Ice there. We've been saying it for the past 3 games. I guess they had 2 games so far. So this will be the 3rd game. I'm going to say, Jack Doyle, you got to get it together. I know you guys know, and that is your pitching path to victory. It's got to be Jack. I mean, Zoe's kind of been doing his job. He's found that little bit of that arm angle that works. So it's Jack's turn to be Jack Doyle. I think if he figures out one side of the ball, it'll help the other side as well. So it's a game of confidence. We all know that. So Jack, be Jack, slow it down a little bit. And I think if you slow it down, everything will fall into place.
So here's my thing. What's most important for We Got Ice in this game? Jack is coming off of giving up, having 7 earned runs against Lovias in his last game. Mm-hmm. What's most important for him now is in this game not getting all 4 of his outs on Colin. He needs to get at least half of them on K-Mac. Yeah. Has to. Otherwise, in my eyes, We Got Ice stands no chance.
Yeah. I mean, this would be a great built-in game for them. If they somehow have an underdog story type of game and are able to shut them down, they really can, because it's not a hitting team.
Right.
This could get them into the semifinals and spark them to be a top dog.
Yeah, it totally could. I mean, McFlurry Power, K-Mac really needs to get going hitting wise. That's what I'm going to say what to watch for is K-Mac hitting. He needs to. If they have any chance of repeating, they need him to be putting runs up. Colin will figure it out. He started to a little bit in the last game.
He'll have one timely hit a game.
Colin started to figure it out a little bit. Yeah, he only had 2 walks and 1 hit in his 4 outs against Forgotten Rotten.
We've seen a little bit of pop from him though. I think a couple balls off the wall.
I don't give a shit about pop.
It's all bonus. It's bonus if he hits anything.
Yeah, it's bonus. What we really need, what you really got to watch for, is K-Mac's hitting ability to come back. It's do or die now. And who knows? Maybe he's the type of guy who's like, oh, pressure makes diamonds. So be aware. We got 2 guys who really need to prove it. Jack on the mound, K-Mac at the plate. So we'll see which one of the 2 comes out on top. I think it's a great one to watch for, Brendy.
It's a great one.
It's a great one. Hey, dude, if you like great stuff, what should you be drinking?
Like great stuff, Drink Subtle Tea is a drink made by me. You can find it at thesubtletea.com. Get $2 off your order of a 12-pack with code HobbyBoys. The Hobby Boys is my other podcast where we talk about beer. We'll be talking about 1 beer every day for the next 24 days. Well, one of us will. The other one will be drinking something else. First half of the month, it'll be really bad whiskey, and the other half of the month, I still don't really know yet. We'll figure that out.
Really good whiskey.
But we're going to have, I think, 25 episodes coming out this month. So
that's insane.
See, TPP style, about 15 minutes an episode.
You already had a couple come out?
2 have come out. 2 days of December, 2 episodes.
Wowza. I'm glad we're doing this because I totally forgot about that. Now I have something to listen to on my drive to the office. Keep going. Sorry.
Oh, there's more. Go to the YouTube to watch those. They're very visual episodes. You get to see me make a face when I drink really disgusting things. Go to the Hoppy Boys on YouTube, and you can also listen to us wherever you get your podcast, the Blitzball Boys. And please go watch us. Even if you just listen, just go support us on YouTube as well. We're getting close to 100 subscribers on YouTube, the Blitzball Boys podcast. We have 96 as I speak right now. Let's get right in there. 4 more to 100. Help us out.
to 100. Mm-hmm. Help us out, dude.
Like and comment.
Thank you very much for listening. We always appreciate it. We love talking to you guys in the episodes. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. We love talking to you guys in the episodes. If you don't want to comment on YouTubes, but you do want to talk to us, Peter Posk on Twitter, Ruppy Puppy on Twitter. Thank you again for listening. It means the world to us.
Give
really
us your own text rant to match Peter's rant.
Yeah, match my rant.
Match his rant.
Everybody tell me, like, Peter, fucking stop getting so worked up. You're 31 years old and it's a fucking fake YouTube thing. Yeah, fuck you guys. Okay? Let me be mad.
He loves being mad.
I love being mad. Beyond that, Brendy, ask me the question.
Got anything else you want to talk about?
Nope. Bye.
Bye-bye.